Good evening and welcome to Crafting by Moonlight. This evening I've decided that we are going to make a small sort of table, for lack of a better word, out of this so that for our Alice in Wonderland themed birthday we can put a bottle on top of it, but of course the bottle just can't be empty, it's got to be filled. So I'm going to show you how to fill it, and then actually you can use any sort of kid, doll table that you find that you like that's big enough but small enough, if that makes any sense. So let's get started. First off, this is a key, and I actually got this from a pack, and I believe I got it in the jewelry section of my local craft store. If not, you might also be able to find them in the scrapbooking section as well. This one was the smallest one, but I think it was a jewelry one because of the fact that there was two. Second, I got these little teeny tiny bottles, and they are glass, but I picked them up in the miniature section of my craft store. Once again, I use Michael's, so I got these in the miniature aisle. I was looking around to see if I could find like a little bottle, since Alice drinks out of one and grows smaller. So we need to fill it. So two things about that. One, these are tiny, and if you haven't seen my other one where I actually fill like a shot bottle, these are teeny tinies. They're itty bitties. That's a pen, and that's the bottle. So these are really small. So you're going to need a syringe. I actually happen to have, it's a crooked syringe, as you can see. It's actually a mouth syringe that I picked up the last time I was at the dentist. So if not, you can just get like maybe a kid's syringe or something like that. Something small enough to fit in the hole. So we're going to do two different ones. One is going to be with paint, which is what I did for the Felix Felicis bottles. And then one of them I'm actually going to do water and food coloring. So let's get started. So we've got this little bottle here, and then I've got this other little teeny tiny bottle with a cork here. Okay, and I managed to lose a cork, but that's okay. So what we're going to do, oh, there he is. Okay, there we go. Got to keep my corks in a row. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is let's do the paint one, and what I would like to do is I'm going to fill this up with just a little bit of water. So I've got like a little nice clear container of water, and I'm just filling it up just barely. I mean, you're not going to need that much because you want it about halfway. We don't want to fill the bottle all the way up all the way. We want to make it look like she's already drank out of some of it. So we're just going to go ahead and fill it up right there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and fill this one up too while we're at it. Just about halfway. And squeeze out the extra. Now the fun part. So the first one, we're going to go ahead and do the liquid dye. Just want to make sure it's not too small, not too full, not too empty. Maybe just add a little bit. Oop. A little bit in there. Okay. That's good. I'm actually probably going to take some out of that one. And these are actually good if you have a perfume that you like to use. And taking it out, you might want to have to burst the bubble and then actually try to suck it out. Okay, there we go. And then you need to empty the syringe. That's the only thing I don't like about using syringes, is that unfortunately you need to empty them. This one, you can just use any type of dye. This is McCormick's. Once again, you can use any dye. I use the one that comes in a little teardrop. Now this is going to be a little bit trickier because I don't technically want it in there. I might actually do the paint first because it would just be a little bit easier to get it out of the bottle. Nope, I do want to do this first. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is try to pull off that. And then I'm going to plug this in since I have the stopper out. And guaranteed this is most likely going to make your fingers turn blue. So just be careful with that. And as I'm pushing the plunger down, the dye is actually resting just right above that tip. So I kind of want to put that plunger up a little bit so I've got air in there, because once I put it down in the shaft, as you can see, and then we need to squirt it into the bottle. Oop, too much. I did not want it that dark, so that's okay. So this is one of the great things about this, is that you can always play with it to get the right consistency. This happens to be a vat of paint that I have going on. We can add just a little bit more blue to it. Can't kill it. Quick tip, side note, if you're not a painter, that's okay. But when I paint, I actually like to make my own unique colors. There's an upside and a downside to that. The upside is that they wind up turning out really nice and beautiful, and they're unique. Downside to that is that 9 times out of 10, I don't know how much I threw in of what and how much I threw in of something else to create that color. So I pretty much can't ever make that color again. This one I happen to have lying around for an egg I'm working on. Alright, so we've now got blue out of there. And as you can see, we still have it in our syringe. So I'm going to try to dilute it as much actually I'm going to try to suck that out. Nope, there we go. Now I'm going to suck up some more of this water, so I've got clear water going down into. Problem is that my plunger is all the way up, so I need to be very, very careful about this. Okay. Okay. So we're going to call that a wash. There's nothing wrong with that. So just, it's up to you how dark you want it to be. That's actually not a bad color, considering. I just wanted it a tiny bit lighter, but that's okay. Alright, there we go. That's good enough. Alright, so we have our water. It's now dirty. Now we have our clean one, which we're going to go ahead and tilt the paint bottle and suck up. See, you don't need much. We are literally going to drop a drop in here. The thing was is I didn't want it to touch the sides, the walls, but it did. So this one might actually take more because the paint has got to mix into the water. And sometimes it'll give us a really nice color, and sometimes it won't. So I was looking for kind of like an opaque color. Oop. There we go. I wanted one that's very opaque, and then I wanted one that's very kind of murky. It looks like liquid, looks like medicine, you know. Alright, there we go. So we have two different bottles now, and one of them's very clear, and one of them's very murky. So I'm going to go ahead, we're at 11 minutes. I'm going to put the caps on both. I actually like how this one turned out. I'm satisfied with that. And then actually, if you're going to use water, which I was actually trying to use an epoxy or hot glue to kind of seal it, you can always just seal with just a little bit of hot glue. Just a little bit. You don't need too much. You actually just kind of want to rub it around the top to kind of like smooth it out, but it has like a clear top on the top of it. This one I'm going to go ahead and leave off for now because that one I'm going to fix. So there we go. We've got a little nice blue potion, and the top's still wet so I can't touch it, but let me see if I can put that in my hand. There we go. And there you are. So now we're going to take this and pair it with our key. So now we have our drink me and our key, and then you can even, if you have little treats, do the little edible treats to make her grow. Alright, my name is Alice. This is Crafting with Moonlight by Moonlight, and thanks for watching. If you liked it, like it in the like box, comment in the comment box, and subscribe in the subscribe box. Thanks so much. Have a great night.